What if people skipped instead of walked? What if you did skipping instead of walking? Welcome to another exciting episode of the Neville Goddard podcast. My name is Mr. 2020. This podcast is brought to you by ManifestingMasteryCourse.com. If you get gold from what we do, if you realize that we're different, we're not the typical, join us at ManifestingMasteryCourse.com. It is the 90-day adventure. It takes about 10-15 minutes a day total. That totally transforms lives. That's ManifestingMasteryCourse.com. Ready? So years ago, I visited Australia, 2010. I came over here to do some work with a small group of Forex traders, elite people that were having problems, like all traders seem to. Because what happens is they start trading and it's fun and exciting. Then at some point they decide to make it work. They start thinking things like, I'm going to trade 8 hours a day. I'm going to approach this like I did my job. And then it becomes a job. Sort of like when people tell me, I'm going to make this marriage work. Right. Do you really want a second job or do you want to have some fun? See, here's the cool thing. So I take this group of Forex traders and I tell them, look, when you take a bad trade, right, here's what I want you to do. Leave the building. Right? They traded at home like a couple nights a week, and they traded in a group a couple nights a week. And I told them, wherever you are, if you take a bad trade, I want you to stand up and exit the building. Go outside and get some fresh air. And here's what they do. They go outside and they walk around and they beat themselves up. And I say, right, that's lesson number 1. Lesson number 2, skip that. Literally, what I want you to do is skip. So whenever you take a bad trade, I want you to stand up, exit the building, shake it off, and skip. And instantly, before anybody takes any trades, right, I'm doing the motivational talk before the trading session. Before anybody takes any trades, you can tell their physiology shifts, their blood flow shifts, their breathing shifts, their blink rate shifts. All these things that indicate they have a shift. It's like, you see, you've just imagined skipping. A few of you have already come up with counter arguments. Well, I'm not going to skip. That ain't going to do nothing. Before you even hear it. You decided it's not going to work before you even do it. That's another imaginal act. That's just really worth noticing. And I appear to digress. Because what I want you to do is when you take a bad trade, and we all take bad trades, I want you to stand up, exit the building, and go skipping. And here's what happens. There's a different neurology involved with skipping. It's called fun. All right, on the other hand, I'm working with a lady and she tells me, look, I'm trying to do 10,000 steps a day. I'm persisting. I'm pushing. I'm not always succeeding. It's hard. It's a struggle. What do you suggest I imagine? And I tell her, look, I imagine you skipping. Have a great day. And then she writes back. She goes, that just thinking about that felt weird. I says, yeah, just doing it feels lovely. Just go do it. So she started mixing in skipping with her walking. And one of the things that she imagined, or one of these things that she discovered, was she was imagining that walking was a struggle. Walking involved persistence, getting to a number. Right? She took her mind off of her. Instead of letting it be all about her, she made it all about the struggle to get to a number, a story that I'm not a fan of. Meanwhile, what I want you to do is skip. Now, here's the cool thing. We've woven a couple things into this tiny little talk. And again, if you get gold, why not join us in ManifestingMasteryCourse.com? But here's what's really, really cool. Because to skip, you need to first imagine skipping. And you could imagine how ridiculous you look and how people are going to laugh at you. And you know what? People might. I don't care. Because the less you give a care about people doing stupid shit, the more you're going to discover more people will join in the fun. Because I've done way more than one life program where I've had people skip and total strangers join in. Just for fun. And the giggles ripple. And this is what you get to do in the world, because if you're one of these people that pushes and struggles, you're generating more cortisol. Cortisol does not make you live longer. Cortisol is not necessarily all that fun. It can be useful, like salt, in very small doses. On the other hand, skip. Have some fun. And notice, before you can successfully skip, and before other people can successfully join in with your skipping, something gets to be imagined, something gets to be accepted, and something gets to be explored and expanded. I declare. My name is Mr. 2020. If you got gold, we've already dropped a suggestion. That was manifestingmasterycourse.com. Meanwhile, what I want you to do is to imagine, instead of struggling, instead of counting your steps, instead of making life a step-by-step thing, join us in skipping. Have a lovely day. Let us go into the silence. Oh yeah, baby. Let's do it. Have a lovely day. Dive deeper, soar higher. See ya.